Her parents disapproved of the connection. Now, to make matters worse, she was pregnant. She went to San Francisco to have a baby son on her own. But they didn't want a child in their lives. The boy was given up for adoption as soon as he was born. Little did they know about who the boy would be in the years to come. Hello, and welcome to our channel. Today, we bring you the story of a small boy given up by his biological parents, who grew up to change the future as we know it. Before we dive in, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more amazing stories. Remember to click on that little bell icon so that you never miss our stories. How often are we the unfortunate victims of injustice? How often are we beaten down by the harsh blows of life due to circumstances we had no control over? So many situations that we had no choice over, where others make decisions for us, determine so much of our lives. However, what sets this boy apart is his strength and his ability to rise beyond the corner life pushed him into. The day he came to this was, in itself, riddled with the mistakes of others. His inexperienced young parents were just college students at the time. The boy had no say in the things that were happening. His parents were in no position to care for a child. Unknown to everyone, even the father, his mother went off to San Francisco to have the baby. The couple who were supposed to adopt the baby changed their mind at the last minute. Luckily though, two other parents stepped up. Though neither of them had a college education, they pledged to pay for the boy's college education. So, the boy was placed with a family of limited means. They loved the boy, but did not have the means to provide him with luxuries. The first few months were spent in nerve-wracking uncertainty, and his adopted mother later admitted that she was too frightened to love the boy for the first 6 months of his life. The court cases made her afraid that the authorities would take her child away. Added to that was the fact that the boy was a rather difficult child. Many times they considered returning the child, but years later, the boy would say that he had been really blessed by having the two of them as his parents. His new parents didn't have much to offer. His father worked in several jobs that included being a train driver and a machinist. His mother was a simple housewife and tried to give the boy and their newly adopted sister the best home they could. Soon, his parents moved to a different city in search of better life opportunities. It was here that the boy began his academic preparation for elementary and high school. His father built him a workbench in the garage to pass along his love of mechanics. The boy loved watching his father after work. He admired his father's craftsmanship. He wasn't all too interested in fixing cars, but he was eager to spend time with his father. But by the time the boy was 10, he had developed a deep interest in electronics. This interest led him to be a part of a technology club at school. He also befriended many of the engineers who lived in the neighborhood. It is at this moment where his dreams of creating exciting innovations for this world began. As he grew up, this young man wanted to explore electronics, so he enrolled himself in a university in another state, far away from his parents. He had hopes and dreams of being able to learn and expand his knowledge. Unfortunately though, the university was too expensive for his parents. After one semester, Jobs dropped out of university, saying that he did not want to spend his parents' money on education that seemed meaningless. Life was not looking good for this young man. During his brief time in university, he slept on the floor in friends' dorm rooms, returned Coke bottles for food money, and got weekly free meals at the local temple. Without any money or proper education, the young man returned home. However, he had a firm grip on his dreams and was determined to achieve his goals. He began looking for work to support himself and his family. He was hired as a technician in a video game company and soon impressed everyone with his intellect. A colleague later said, he was very often the smartest guy in the room, and he would let people know that. The boy was living a simple life. Instead of spending his earnings on lavish things like most other young men his age would have done, he saved the money he got. The boy had clear dreams for his future, and he was working to make them a reality. Several months later, The young man traveled to India in search of spiritual enlightenment and a better future. A few months in, and he traveled back to his home country. The boy was now a changed man. Shortly afterwards, he resigned from his position despite having no money in his pockets. He was after something much bigger than money. He had dreams of innovating and expanding electronics to give the world a breakthrough. He didn't want to settle for what existed, since he knew there was so much more to discover. The young man started a partnership with an old work colleague. They both shared an impulsive need to change the world. Thanks to what they had learned in their work experience, they came up with a new idea. It was a unique artifact for each person never created before. They created a personal computer, which would later become a global brand recognized around the world for its technological push. They worked tirelessly until they created the first original prototype, but their journey was far from over. The path of this young man was not going to be so easy. Despite having a great proposal in hand and a visionary mind, nobody believed in his project. They treated him like a maniac. His idea got rejected over and over again by hundreds of people. He called people daily to sell his idea. He knew the value of his vision, but everyone kept saying that it simply wasn't a good idea and that he was only wasting their time. Many were the sacrifices he had to make, selling a lot of personal belongings and the few resources he had until he crashed to a low point. He felt hopeless and without any more possibilities. The constant rejections only made his resolve stronger. The young man was made a mockery. Everyone claimed that no one who worked from his garage could achieve anything. However, these only made his desire to prove them stronger. He had a breakthrough idea, and he wanted to make it work. Finally, after millions of calls, one businessman decided to risk it. He was willing to take a risk on this young man's idea. This business brand idea had a vision of technological ideas, and it presented a partnership and financing proposal for the official launch of the first personal computer. The partnership was off to a murky start, but the partnership officially kicked to a start. The young man, along with his new associate, began the production of the first personal computer. They manufactured, sold, and distributed the first models and turned his idea into a total success. The project immediately generated a massive growth in this new company, which generated more profits than expected. It incentivized the young man's ideas. It was an innovation in computers and the creation of new technological devices which would boost his brand to world recognition. Despite going through many difficult situations, this young man broke through because of his hard work and determination. His persistence in the realization of his dreams, his defense of his ideals, and above all, the great confidence he had in himself. These were the engines that allowed that boy who was rejected as a child and laughed at to create a great path as a great visionary and entrepreneur of the businesses worldwide. The young man then ventured into the world of entertainment by investing in film animation companies and other businesses. He managed to become a business tycoon with great recognition for his great contributions to the technological advancement of humanity. This man is none other than the bright and revolutionary Steve Jobs, born on February 24th, 1955 in the city of San Francisco, California, USA. He was a business tycoon, industrial designer, investor, and owner of the many American-made companies. He is the co-founder of Apple Inc., one of the 4 major technology companies in the world, and also a majority shareholder and later owner of Pixar, one of the most important animation film studios capable of creating the first computer-animated feature film, all under his control and dominance. He was involved in multiple investments and creations. This spectacular tycoon amassed a fortune valued at approximately $7 billion and died at 56 years of age on October 5th, 2011 in the city of Palo Alto, California, USA. Without a doubt, Steve is a clear example of perseverance and improvement. He showed that at the face of adversity, we can do 2 things: surrender and give up, or get up and keep moving forward. He chose to move forward and pushed himself to leave his mark on the world. He generated an innovative and creative idea in what we now know today as the existing technology. This was the dream he had, and this was what he pursued with all the zeal and energy in his body. Would you have thought that an adopted boy would end up changing the world? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more amazing videos. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.